Most people spend their entire lives being an open book. Every emotion, every reaction, every need written across their face like a headline, and then they wonder why they keep getting plagued. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to close that book permanently. Machiavelli understood something 3 centuries ago that most people still refuse to accept. The person who controls their emotional expression controls the room. The person who doesn't is just furniture. One thing before we go further. This channel is a restart. My previous channel, gone. Years of work, zeroed out, and I'm building this one from absolute zero, with nothing but what I know. If this content earns your attention, a subscribe or a like goes further here than it does on an established channel. It tells the algorithm this matters. It tells me to keep going. Let's get into it. Here's a truth nobody tells you. Every single time you react to a provocation, to an insult, to a piece of bad news, you are handing someone a manual. You're saying, here's what hurts me. Here's what excites me. Here's exactly where to apply pressure. Picture this. You're in a meeting. Someone dismisses your idea. Your jaw tightens. Your eyes drop for half a second. You shift in your chair. You didn't say a word. But everyone in that room now knows. That one landed. The co-worker who saw it files it away. The boss who saw it adjusts their assessment of you. The rival who saw it? They now have a button to press. Here's the part most people miss. This isn't about suppressing emotion. Suppression is just a lid on a boiling pot. It leaks. Steam finds a way out. What Machiavelli described and what we're going to build is something different entirely. It's not suppressing the reaction. It's eliminating the need for one. When I say cold, I don't mean cruel. I don't mean indifferent. I mean thermostatic. Your internal temperature does not change based on the room you walk into. Most people are weather vanes. Someone walks in angry. They become defensive. Someone gives them approval. They light up. Someone criticizes them, and their entire mood collapses. That's not emotional intelligence. That's emotional leakage. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. The reason you react is not because of what they did. It's because of what you need. You need their approval. You need their respect. You need to be seen a certain way. And when they don't give you that, the reaction isn't anger. The reaction is withdrawal, and the anger is just the withdrawal symptom. The first shift is this. Stop needing things from people who have no reason to give them to you. The colleague who dismisses your idea, they don't know your body of work. Your boss who overlooks you, they're managing their own survival. The stranger online who attacks you, they're fighting a ghost that has nothing to do with you. When you truly understand this, not intellectually, but at the level where your body stops tensing up, you become cold in the way Machiavelli meant. Not frozen, just unaffected. Being cold is internal. Being unreadable is what the world sees. And the gap between those two things is where most people fail. You can feel nothing inside and still leak information through your habits. You talk too much when you're nervous. You go silent when you're threatened. You over-explain when you want approval. Every one of those is a data point. Here's the rule. What you don't say cannot be used against you. What you don't show cannot be targeted. Machiavelli wrote that a prince should seem merciful, faithful, humane, but only seem it. The appearance is the armor. The reality underneath is nobody's business. Practical application. Next time someone delivers bad news, count to 3 before responding. Not 2. 3 full seconds. That gap does 2 things. 1, it gives your nervous system time to process before your mouth opens. 2, it signals to the other person that you are not being pulled by their timeline. Most people panic in silence. They fill it with words, with explanations, with justifications. The unreadable person sits in it, lets it breathe. And the other person, they start filling it instead, often with more information than they intended to give. That's not manipulation, that's physics. Silence is a vacuum, and vacuums get filled. We're about to get into the final layer, the one that makes you not just cold and unreadable, but genuinely impossible to manipulate. This is the part most psychology channels skip because it requires you to look at something uncomfortable about yourself. If you're getting value from this, subscribe. We go deep on the behavioral dynamics nobody teaches you. Drop a comment. Which of these 3 layers do you think is the hardest to master? Here's the part most people miss. You can be cold, you can be unreadable, and someone can still get to you. Why? Because manipulation doesn't always attack your emotions directly. Sometimes it attacks your identity. If I know you pride yourself on being generous, I don't need to make you angry. I just need to frame my request as a test of your generosity. Now you're not reacting to me. You're reacting to a version of yourself you're afraid of losing. Every manipulation tactic works by hijacking a self-story you're invested in. You're not the kind of person who walks away from a challenge. I expected more from you. A real friend would understand. These aren't arguments. They're identity traps. And if you have no story about yourself that you're desperate to protect, the trap has nothing to grab. The cold person feels the hook but doesn't show it. The unreadable person doesn't show the hook but still feels it. The person who is impossible to manipulate, they don't feel the hook at all because the story the hook was wrapped around has been dismantled. Machiavelli didn't say pretend not to care. He said, understand that virtue and vice are tools, not identities. The prince does what is necessary and doesn't need to call it good or evil afterward. He just acts and moves on. That is the final layer. You stop needing to be the hero of your own story. You become someone who makes decisions, observes outcomes, and adjusts without needing any of it to prove something about who you are. People will notice. That's the strange part. When you stop performing warmth, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop reacting to provocations, people don't dislike you more. They respect you more. Not because you became unpleasant, because you stopped being predictable. And humans are hardwired to be cautious around what they can't predict. Here's the twist almost nobody mentions. Becoming cold, unreadable, and impossible to manipulate doesn't make you lonely. It makes you selective. The people who stay in your orbit after the shift, they're not there because you gave them something to use. They're there because they actually want to be. And that's not isolation. That's filtration. So here's the distillation. Layer 1. Stop needing things from people who have no reason to give them. That kills the reaction at its root. Layer 2. Control your output. What they can't see, they can't weaponize. Layer 3. Dismantle the stories you're attached to. No story, no hook, cold, unreadable, impossible to manipulate. Not because you built walls, because you stopped handing out keys. Subscribe if you want more of this. We go deep on Machiavelli, dark psychology, and the silent power dynamics shaping every room you walk into. Drop a comment. Which of these 5 beats hit you the hardest? See you next time.